small. My phone is small one. I think my phone power is small.
My TBR on game one. Usually I start all of my games by punching a tree, but there's really no push around here, are there? All we have is our little bamboo raft, and particularly inside here, start this row is a single grass block, a sapling, and a pink bed. So I think our best course of action is to get like 1 or 2 dirt blocks and try to start building some sort of platform that we're falling on. So we'll start drowning like there's no one we get a second one without drowning. Can do that, come on back to the surface, and just in the nick of time. Okay, I might be 2000 IQ here, but I think we can place this. Wait, we can't. Wait, I'm actually kind of smart. What the heck? Okay, so let's just do our second dirt block right there then. And let's just bring our little bamboo raft over here, and the base is done. I'm only kidding, of course. Let's just grab our starter items out of this chest. Okay, but with those in hand, let's place down our grass block right there. That's spread. And our sapling. Okay, and we'll break that sapling to see if we can get a few more dirt blocks. It'd be really nice to expand our I managed to get 2 more dirt blocks. Let's just go and okay, so I'll just keep repeating this process until the tree grows and not really much else to do. Maybe I can get 3 without drowning? No, okay, I'm trouble. Don't, okay, close one. Can you please grow up little sapling? I need to get some more materials. No way, our tree grew? That's insane. Okay, let's just place down that dirt that I just grabbed and chop this tree down. And I got a sapling, let's go. Okay, actually getting a sapling back was huge. If we did not get one of those, we'd be kind of screwed. Alright, but let's punch this tree down and get ourselves a box. We got 4 saplings back from that one tree, which is kind of crazy, so let's just plant those down maybe just like that. And then we of course have some logs, so let's roast the planks and make ourselves a and might as well make a few sticks while we're at it. Maybe just place down this crafting table just like that, we can make ourselves, oh yeah, our first wooden pickaxe. We might as well just make ourselves an axe as a shovel and then make a sword like that. The nice thing is, now that we have a shovel, we should be able to dig up this dirt a little bit faster, which is going to be instead of expanding our platform. Okay, I managed to get 5 dirt blocks there instead of just 2, which is cool. We can get 4, so let's expand this. And somehow the sun is already setting. I don't know where the time went, but that's alright. Let's just sleep away the first night and we can progress. Already on to day 2, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, gosh, we got
this right here. Sure, okay, we got one. Let's go back up to the surface, catch our breath. I maybe should have made some doors or something instead of all these tools, just so we could be we'd have to get this one at a time. We just need 1 more cobblestone. We should make ourselves some fast big ones. Okay, we've got 3 cobblestones. Let's just place down our crafting table to make ourselves a better pit. Now that we have that, we're stuck in down here. I'm not seeing any. Definitely take this one. I'm sure we're ready. I'm drowning. Oh, why did I do that? I should have been more careful not to take damage because I'm starting to get hungry. So it should be some pretty good food. Not the best, but it's sushi. The situation sorted for the time being. I logged in and mined up more cobblestone as well as after breaking one of the cliffs, a cave and a movement. Without thinking, I hopped down into it, and of course, the skeleton instantly started no-scoping. And with no armor, I got down to just 2 and a half hearts. With my booty cheeks just
oh my god,
I managed to box myself into safety. So I still have a couple of fish, so I crafted a furnace. And after eating the fish to heal up, I also took a second to craft myself a slightly better stone sword. I was nervous to leave the safety of my box, to say the least, but I wanted to get my revenge on the skeleton, so I took my chances. But weirdly, after searching the entire cave, the skeleton was nowhere to be found. I was a little anxious about the skeleton. So I just carried on and mined up all the iron that was found here. I ended up getting 14 iron, which was pretty good, and I also grabbed all the copper as well as wood. After our base, I expanded some cobblestone, and then I started smelting up more iron. While waiting, I figured I better go get more food since I was out, so I was back to dig down some hot water. After getting a decent supply of fish, our iron was done smelting, so I went back to the furnace and started cooking. I also noticed some of the trees in this forest. I took a minute to chop them down. I got chest plate, as well as an iron pickaxe and a shovel. As the sun was setting, I finished off huge things and drinks more. As a bit of a bedtime snack, I began the following day by making doors and
Zombie, Eis bekommen.
At the help of our doors, I was able to breathe water, which allowed me to get a decent supply of this. And wanted dirt to expand our platform, of course. My hope is that it's a better Christmas spot, but I guess we'll see. Our platform is pretty basic, but you know, it's getting there. We've got our saplings, less claustrophobic. Anyway, I want to get to the gear, so
Das ist mein erster Farm, das ist hier. Als Film in
anything useful we can find.
Mein erster Farm.
Copper, iron, lapis, and gold. But of course, when I was really after was diamonds, I found my first diamond vein. It ended up being one diamond, but it was all good.
Was steht andere Leute,
Eventually, my arm pickaxe broke, so I decided to just go ahead and make myself a
und
diamond.
Ruhe.
With that in hand, I continued to explore the cave for
Bombo,
any
das.
resources
SG1 oder was?
odds, which was a little scary, but at least one of the squirrels I killed dropped a couple of string, which is actually huge since we can use it to make a fishing rod. I was starting to get low on food though, so I figured I better start making my way back up to the surface. Along the way though, I took stops to get
Oh mein Gott, SG1. Ah, Zombie, top.
I got the CP of our island base. I organized my goodies. I started smelting the iron, and while waiting, I got afterwards, I turned it as I got from scalping meal and then used that to make some grass, which I then get some wheat seeds. Using a hoe, I tilled a section of our base and a simple farm. I'm really glad we got that set up. Even better, all of our iron is done smelting. With stone now, we crafted an entire set of armor and with our diamonds.
For the next 50 hours, I am stranded on this deserted island in the middle of the ocean. During that, I used the... In this video, I spent 100 days building the ultimate farm from scratch in hardcore Minecraft. I've added a couple of
Die hat sich alle Village out. Was ist das? Welche Village habe ich Schreier dabei?
for blockheads, which gives us a market to buy seeds from. Geophilic, which improves vanilla biomes in subtle ways. We've got a whole heap of decorational and industrial mods and some to add seasons to the game.
Warte, wann ist so bitte?
We've got a lot of work to do, so let's get straight into day one. This morning in, I found myself in a nice lush forest, and pretty quickly I found something new. It was a tree that had fruit in the leaves. I tried destroying the leaf, which yielded lemons. I figured out you can also destroy it.
Der lässt dich ja arme Leute Ruhe.
I checked the nutritional values, which was thanks to the apple,
Let's
and that showed they only do half a hunger bar, which kind of stinks. I then made my way over to a full. Then crafted up a wooden pick, started a little mine and gathered some cobblestone. I ended up finding some. That's absolutely perfect. I quickly used those to craft some torches so we could actually see. I returned to the surface, crafted up some stone tools, and headed down to continue mining the coal, and ended up reaching into a giant ravine. I started crying over the lack of iron and said ravine, but after some continued searching, I found a big.
Bombenklaus. Oh mein Gott, ich muss das Ganze machen.
Unfortunately, none of us had any work, so we couldn't get the pet dog just yet. After waiting for everything to smelt, we crafted 2 iron pickaxes as well as 2 shields, and then I myself went into a cave where I collected some bones so Ash could get the pet dog.
Lieber kein Junge.
Bones. Now we could.
Ah, hier mein Bitch. Ah, mein Iron ist
There
fertig.
was a lot of fun stuff in the chest. We also collected
Ich vergesse, ich hab Stärke.
we continued
Und
further.
I'm not the apple. Give me a break.
After a while, off in the distance, we
oh,
found
oh, hier Bäume. Mein Freund.
dedication village to
Sieben Bäume
way to go
gesehen.
into the desert.
Ich hab
By the time we got there, it
gehört.
was nighttime, so we
Ah,
went to
so
sleep.
ist
Leaving the village the next
Geile.
day, free food. Yeah, this village had so many cats, which is perfect because every single world Ash somehow manages to get like 3 billion pet cats.
Was
It's
ist
kind of
das?
crazy. However, unfortunately, she was having a hard time trying to get some fish to tame the cats. There was a blacksmith in this village, but the chest didn't have a whole lot.
Ah, ich muss
After
zurück
that,
bei
Ash finally
Altrade.
managed to get a
Eine
so
Item
she could go ahead and try and tame a cat. So whilst I was being productive
You might
in the
want to,
village, she
like,
spent a whole 2
find
minutes trying to chase down one cat, and in the end, she didn't even get to tame it.
No, I
Take a
code
fish. I'm
into some code. Oh,
cats.
Yikes. So after doing a little more village looting, like defeating giant golem, we left the
and
desert
hier
village to
ganz
do the
viele
exact same
Oh,
thing over
ich
in
vergesse
the
jetzt dieses
Acacia
Schwert.
village.
Alter.
It's at night time. Today,
Ah, ich
we
vergesse,
wanted to
ich hab
start
hier
looking
Diamond,
for a
bro.
house location. We saw a random
Oh,
island in
that's-
the middle of this giant
Oh,
ocean
okay.
or lake thing, surrounded by the nice blue water, which is when we thought that island could be turned into a cool area for our home location.
I need the people in your YouTube comments to come up with a name.
Das ist mein Freund. Mein Freund. Das ist
On this
total
island, we
Freund.
also noticed it was very small. So for the rest of the day, we simply just went ahead and collected loads of diamonds to eventually expand the
So,
island.
er vergisst das Schwert. Fertig. Niemand Platz.
Is that connecting it so hard?
Ah, das ist mein Freund. Scheiße, das ist meiner.
And on day 5, we expanded the island
Das.
quite a bit compared to what it was originally. We also kept it opening underneath the island so that we could bring boats through a cool cave underneath the island to eventually. These are all just random ideas that we
Meine
had.
ist bitte. Hast du nur ein Stack Diamond? Kurz, das macht Diamond.
But now, it was time to go exploring again. This time for a cave entrance. That's right, it's not time to go
Oh,
mining
und
for
wie kriegt das Ding? Wir haben eine andere Page hier. Geil, Player kommen und da zack alles draus. Ja. Und schon vorbei. Ey, das bleibt immer nicht. Das ist mein King, Diggi. Das ist mein bester Einmal. Leute. Das Glück ist über alles.
That's all this place had. It was a pretty small cave. So we had to go back up to the surface and start looking for an even better cave.
So ist bereit. Ja, das ist alles.
We found another entrance. Oh, no, never mind. That entrance didn't lead anywhere. But eventually, we found another cave. Watch out behind you, And now we can go around and light up the entrance.
Go! Alter, jetzt noch. Oder das Bett.
36.
Wie geil. Alter, willst du mir jetzt Schwert?
You might have
Auf Hause das
Yeah, we were like challenging each other to see who could get the most iron, and we ended up getting so much iron that we're just not going to need this much ever. I did have a close encounter with some cave spiders. Found the cave. But apart from that, all we really did on this day was go around the caves, continuing to line up and collect even more materials. We weren't here for diamonds though, that's for a later day. Not too long later, we ended up realizing that we had collected loads of materials already. So we just started smelting everything in our few furnaces that we had, then iron armor, iron tools, and that's it. We could now go back home. Left the water up there. Today, me and my two other friends are going to be surviving.
Das geht alle Gole, das will ich alle Gole. Nur, ich verstehe nicht, welche alle Gole ist das? Das ging alle Gole. Ich weiß alle Gole.
Day one, you all know how these ones begin. We just begin by chopping down the trees for wood, crafting a crafting table, followed by
Oh, fuck it. Egal.
collected some stone, upgraded our tools, and then moving forwards,
Ein alter Base ist nur hier und last version of what is the den hier oder den? Ah, warte, nein,
I also may have almost killed one of my friends, definitely on accident. Anyways, I was sitting all went to sleep.
Yes.
Day 2 began with collecting some more woods,
That's
and
a
then
set
we all went
set
exploring
set.
where we found a brand new dog tag, and unfortunately none of us had any boats, so we couldn't get this dog. We then continued exploring, climbed up mountains in order to look for a place where we could settle down and build our house. Also, while we're running around, consider subscribing. Only 3% of my viewers are actually subscribed, and I'll be doing a face reveal on 1 million subscribers. Anyways, on top of this mountain, there was a cherry blossom farm and also a second village. So we decided that this is the place that we would make home. Whilst I waited for the others to make their way up onto the mountain, I went ahead and started collecting some coal. I also got given flour and how cute. And that pretty much sums up the entire day. Because pretty much straight after, we all went to sleep. I myself started day 3 by getting attacked by a zombie, and then I went to the village to take all my hay bales to myself. Also, for like half this day, there was just a ton of mindless running around, where we didn't really do a whole lot. Eventually, I collected some iron and some coal as well. Can't have too much of that. Afterwards, I returned back to the base area where I found out that Nick had made a small cow farm. It was a pretty boring day, but now we're going to be switching things up a bit, and instead, we're all going to go mining for some upgraded armor and tools. I had a close encounter to a creeper, however, besides that, we just continued running around in different areas,
Scheiße, ich krieg
collecting
noch.
loads of
Warte
iron.
kurz.
Continued mining in the caves, and